Hey collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. So, there's a feeling you get deep in your gut, the one telling you something is very, very wrong. But the idea of leaving is so terrifying, it's paralyzing. Maybe you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, just trying to head off the next emotional explosion or wave of criticism. You're not crazy, you're not trapped, and you're not alone. This is your survival guide. That confusion, that guilt, that constant second-guessing yourself, those aren't the normal ups and downs of a relationship. They're the telltale signs of the emotional chaos created by narcissistic abuse. The person you fell for, the one who seemed so perfect and charming in the beginning, might now feel like a stranger who belittles you, dismisses your feelings, and somehow makes you feel responsible for their moods. This is the classic abuse cycle of idealization and devaluation that keeps so many people trapped. But just recognizing this is the first step to getting your life back. Don't confuse these stages of escape with the stages of their abuse. Their cycle is about control. This roadmap is about your freedom. So if you have no idea where to even begin, then this is for you. We're going to walk through the 4 critical stages of escaping a narcissist, from that first little flicker of doubt to the first day of the rest of your life. The first stage is the awakening. This is where the denial finally starts to crack. For months, maybe even years, like in my case, no shame, you've been making excuses for them. You've told yourself things like, all couples have rough patches, or if I just try harder, we can go back to the way things were. You've rationalized their behavior, taken the blame, and twisted yourself into knots, trying to be the perfect partner, thinking that would fix it. But the awakening begins when the excuses just don't work anymore. It's a slow dawning, nagging feeling that something is fundamentally broken. It's the moment you realize their stunning lack of empathy isn't just a quirk, it's who they are. You start to see how they shut down your feelings, calling you crazy, too sensitive, or dramatic, anytime you try to express that you're hurt. Their constant need for admiration and external validation, the way they have to be the center of every story, how they're always the victim, expertly shift the blame, and their inability to be happy for your successes. Suddenly, these patterns are impossible to ignore. This stage is fueled by cognitive dissonance. Your brain is struggling to accept 2 things at once. I love this person, and this person is hurting me and doesn't care. You start to finally put a name to the gaslighting, where they'll flat out deny saying or doing things you know they said and did. Because confusion is their number one goal. During the awakening, you might start searching online, typing phrases like, "Why does my partner blame me for everything?" or "signs of emotional abuse." Hell, it might be how you found me and this video right now. You stumble across articles and videos about narcissism. And as you read about things like love bombing and blame shifting, a cold, horrifying feeling of recognition washes over you. It's like you're reading or listening to the instruction manual to your own life. This is one of the most painful parts of the journey, but it's also the most important. It's the moment you stop asking what's wrong with you and start seeing what's being done to you. Once you have the awakening, your first instinct might be to confront the narcissist. You'll want to show the articles to make them finally see what they are and what they're doing. Please don't. Just don't. This is a very dangerous impulse and is almost always futile. A narcissist's fragile ego is built like a house of cards. It can't handle any real criticism or accountability. A confrontation will almost always trigger narcissistic rage, a flood of new manipulations, or a short-term love bombing campaign to suck you back in before things get even worse. That's why stage 2 is all about strategic detachment and planning. Knowing you have to leave and being ready to actually do it are two totally different things. This is your preparation phase, and you have to do it quietly and carefully. Your emotional, financial, and physical safety are the only things that matter now. First, you need to have your own run fund set up, or your own money in a separate bank account saved up. Money won't buy you happiness, but it'll damn sure buy you freedom. Second, you need to start emotionally detaching. You have to begin pulling your emotional energy back. Gray rocking is essentially you becoming as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. Stop sharing your wins, your fears, and your dreams. When they try to pick a fight, you give short, flat answers. Okay, I see. Thanks for letting me know. You have to stop giving them the emotional reactions they feed on. This starves them of their supply and helps you start to break the trauma bond. That bond is the intense, addictive connection you feel, created by the constant cycle of abuse and occasional kindness. Detaching is how you weaken its grip. Next comes the logistical planning. This isn't the time to be impulsive. You need an exit plan. Like I said, you should start by opening a new bank account in your name only and start quietly putting money away. Then you can gather or separate your important documents like your passport, birth certificate, bank, tax information, or any legal papers. Also, I would suggest documenting everything. Keep a private journal somewhere they would never find it, and write down the incidents of abuse. Note the date, the time, and what happened. Just the facts. This journal isn't for them, it's for you. It will be your anchor to reality when you inevitably start doubting yourself later on. Also, keep your text messages short and sweet. Narcissists love to spin a story, smear your name, and will use anything they can against you. So start thinking 10 steps ahead. Finally, rebuild your support system. Quietly reconnect with trusted friends or family you may have been isolated from. Be very careful who you confide in. Narcissists are masters of charm, true trickster energy, illusionists. They often have a lot of flying monkeys, people who might report back to them or try to talk you out of leaving. Find at least one person who believes you, no questions asked. If you feel like you have no one, you have yourself. Remember who you are. Remember your faith and the faith you have in yourself to be able to get through anything. And anything is better than what you just left. Love, love, love yourself. Stage 3 is the escape. This is it. It's go time. This is when all your planning becomes action, and there's no turning back. The single most important rule of the escape is this: leave without a big dramatic showdown. Don't sit them down for a talk about why you're leaving. Honestly, they're never going to take accountability, and they don't care anyway. They won't have a sudden moment of clarity. They'll just see it as an attack, and they will act out of spite and be petty, or try to manipulate you with empty promises to get you to stay. The safest way to leave is often when they aren't around. Have your plan ready, your go bag packed, your support person on call. Then you just go to the new place that you already have lined up, a friend's house, or your family's. Once you're out, the next step is absolutely critical. You must go no contact. And if you have to communicate because of assets or children, keep it short and sweet or communicate through a lawyer. When that's all sorted, go no contact. And I mean absolutely no contact. Block their number, block every social media platform, block every single mutual person you have in common. Create email filters that send their messages straight to junk or a folder that you never open. No contact isn't about punishing them. It's a boundary you're setting to protect your own mind and soul. Every single time you engage, you're cracking the door open for more manipulation. They may not let you go easily. You were their primary source of supply, and they will try to get it back. They might send texts saying they can't live without you, or they wish you the best, or promise to change, saying all the things you always wanted to hear. They might even invent a crisis, claiming they're sick or in trouble, just to guilt you into responding. And if charm doesn't work, they'll probably switch to threats, a smear campaign, or they'll discard you completely, jumping in with someone new to make you feel small and unseen, telling everyone you know that you're the unstable, crazy, or abusive one. This is exactly why your private journal and your support system is so vital. You have to stand firm. Reread the list of reasons why you left, all the hurtful, hateful things they did or said to you in the past. Do not, under any circumstances, break no contact. It's the only way to break the cycle for good. Leaving feels like the final battle, but I'm sad to say, it's really the first day of your recovery. Welcome to stage 4, recovery and rebuilding. You've escaped the chaos outside, but now it's time to heal the wounds inside. This won't be easy, I won't lie, or quick. Know that ahead of time and give yourself some grace and compassion. The first thing you'll probably feel is a weird combination of massive relief and profound grief. You'll grieve the relationship you thought you had, the future you dreamed of, and the person you believed they were. This is normal and a necessary part of healing. You might also experience symptoms of complex PTSD, like anxiety, being jumpy all the time, not being able to sleep, and having emotional flashbacks that pull you right back into the trauma. This is where professional help can be a game changer. A therapist or a mind-body practitioner who gets narcissistic abuse can validate what you went through and give you the tools to rebuild your shattered self-esteem. For years, your reality was twisted and your sense of self was chipped away. Speaking to someone gives you a safe space to find your own voice again. Learn how to trust your own judgment. A huge part of recovery is just reconnecting with you. Your hobbies, your interests, your passions. They were probably all pushed to the side to make room for the narcissist ego. Now is the time to take all that energy that you dumped into them and pour it back into you. Take that art class. Go on a hike. Go back to school and learn something new. Get in the gym and glow the fuck up. These are essential acts of rebuilding your identity. You'll also need to learn about boundaries. After this experience, your boundaries are likely damaged or non-existent. In recovery, in healing, you learn how to say no and to not feel guilty about it. You learn how to spot red flags in people early on, so you don't end up in this situation ever again. You start to truly understand that your needs are valid and that prioritizing your own well-being isn't selfish, it's necessary. The journey out of a narcissistic relationship is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes you through the painful awakening, the careful planning, the brave escape, and finally, the dedicated work of recovery. You'll have good days and bad days. You'll have moments of strength and moments of doubt. That's all part of it. But remember this, you're not broken. You were wounded, and wounds heal. The life that's waiting for you on the other side of this is peaceful, authentic, and free. It's a life where you don't feel constantly on edge, where your home is your sanctuary, and where you're finally free to just be yourself. You're reclaiming the most precious thing you will ever have. You. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. This new age of Aquarius is the beginning of the end for all narcissists and narcissistic behavior. Mark my words. Remember, you're not alone. There's a lot of us out there who get it. And there's a future full of hope waiting for you. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and maybe share it with other people who need it. Until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.